My name's Caroline Trujillo. I graduate in December. I am a PR major and I'm from Bedford, Texas. I was a market development intern for the Houston Astros. My main duties were, if we did have a game, I would have to translate radio live reads and give them to our Spanish radio broadcasters. I would do that almost every day. I also developed and created different creative strategies. The new ownership for the Astros is very strategic, and so I was able to be thrown into that and take ownership of those creative strategies. And what the creative strategies were, it all just depended on what the project was. So I did creative strategies for email blasts, print ads, and webisode shoots. I wrote the script for them, and then they were all turned into the VP of marketing. So it's pretty cool to see my work, get edited by someone very high up in the company and then approved, and then actually see it put into the final product. So while I was an intern, I was heavily involved with the MLB first year player draft. The player that was the number one pick happened to be Hispanic, and so I was heavily involved with that. If he had not been Hispanic, I probably would not have been involved with it, but it was really cool because when Carlos Correa came to Houston to visit the Astros and to talk to the GM and all the coaches and get to know all the players, there was a press conference, and so my boss told me, hey, I need you to call media right away and invite them to the press conference and invite them to the game so they can have an interview and we can get some publicity on what's going on. And so I was able to call media all day and kind of tell them about what was going on and let them know that the first pick was actually coming to Houston and he was going to be available for interviews and things like that. So that was really cool, and I actually got to meet him because he went into the Spanish radio press box. We have a Spanish print publication called Crónicas con los Astros, and it's basically just what it means is news, like the Chronicles of the Astros in Spanish, and the publication comes out monthly and it's all in Spanish, no English, and it's free, and we distribute it to different homes, and then it's distributed to Minute Maid Park also. But my duty with that was to assist in copy editing with it, but then I also produced content, and so the content I produced were player interviews, and so it was really cool to interview. I interviewed 6 players. Some of them were really good at interviewing, and so that just put a smile on my face whenever I would have great content. And then I would translate it, because some of the interviews would be in English, and so I'd transcribe, translate, and then I would pick pictures for the interviews, and then it would be published. And so it was really nice to be published for the first time, about 3 times, and so that was nice. My favorite interview, it had to be with Justin Maxwell. Everything he said was just amazing. The way that he answered and the type of person he's a great person to be around. And he has his son with him, and it was the cutest thing ever. Because I was talking about the Orioles, and then his son was like, I don't like the Orioles. And it was just the funniest thing. Although it wasn't paid, it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. It was very hands-on, and I learned so much. Besides all of my daily duties, everyone at the Astros is very invested in your future. They are all willing to help you find jobs whenever you graduate, and they're willing to take you on as a mentoree. And so I have several mentors there now, and I don't know, it was just and the friends that I made there were pretty great, and I was able to connect with them, and some of them are actually going to help me find jobs in the future.